Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls44. Welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard Cardfight area deck profile. Today's deck profile we have the Vampire Princess that has risen from the dead to Sagia blah 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 blah. Yeah, so Nightmist Vampire Princess Nightrose. So with the release of the G trial deck, G Granblue trial deck, and GBT06, Granblue got Stride and Stride support, and you know, combined with the Hollow ability, it's actually very strong, very consistent, and honestly just a very, very good deck. Granblue's always been fun to play. It is a little complicated though, and it did take me a while to do that, get the deck profile ready. It was actually kind of frustrating too, but you know, I got it. I'm good. And yeah, we're here. So let's jump right into the deck profile. Very strong, very pressure heavy. Got some good retiring and pluses too. So yeah. So our starter is Undying Departed Grenache. What he does is he has the Hollow ability. What the Hollow ability is quite a few cards that use this. So when this unit is placed on rearguard, you may have it become hollowed. If you do, you retire it at the end of the turn. So his G-Break 1 skill is when this unit is put into the drop zone from rearguard due to an effect of the Hollow ability, you countercharge 2. So you unflip 2. This is huge. At first I didn't like running. I didn't even know this card existed though, but I didn't like running the starters like this. But you have the setup in the deck, in your deck, to, you know, well, set up, and on top of the fact that basically this card is so important. Like your strongest Stride unit counterblasts 2, right? So you need to use 2 of them, so you'll need to use him for both, and you can unflip those, but then you have a hell of a lot of counterblasting in the deck, so you probably need to use him one more time, if not 2. You use him a lot, honestly, and he's so handy, and he honestly combos with some stuff, with like one thing. You can unflip 4 in a turn, if you really need it, and didn't do it earlier, which isn't terrible too, because then, you know, you don't have to call him out another turn, you can call something more pressure heavy or something, but yeah, he's just super important. You gotta play him pretty much. Anyways, so moving on to our grade 3s, we have 4 Nightmist Vampire Princess Nightrose. What she does is, once per turn, G-Break 2, put 3 cards from the top of your deck into your drop zone. When your rearguard is put into the drop zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, you may call that card to rearguard. Okay, so there is some confusing stuff about this that I looked up on Cardfight Wiki and other stuff, and yeah, I'll explain it. So first off, the turn you stride, you can use that skill, because of the fact that the turn you stride, your stride goes back to the G zone before the cards that are hollowed get sent to the drop zone. So you could still use your skill on those turns. The second one is with Grenache, say somebody like Grenache, right? You can use his skill twice with hers, like with this drop 3. Because of the fact that it's still the same turn. So like, say Grenache at the end of the turn, you hollowed him, he gets retired, but you use her skill to bring him back. You can hollow him again and retire him, and you basically unflip 4 damage that turn, in that turn. I mean, you can do it if you really need to, but yeah, that does work, because of the fact that it's still the same end phase, and it's retired on that end phase. So yeah, it still works. Anyways, her other skills, counterblast 1. During your turn, when you use unit Stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your drop zone called to rearguard, and it's on a turn that gets plus 2k. So pretty strong, just helping you get a card from drop zone. Superior call, right? Just very strong, very strong backup. Sorry, very strong Vanguard, not backup. This is not a backup. This is the main Vanguard. Don't get confused. Anyways, now to our backup Vanguard. We have 2 Witch Doctor of the Dead Sea, Negrobolt. His Legion mate is Dragon Undead Ghoul Dragon. He's a Legion, we need him as a backup Vanguard because sometimes you will be close to decking out or whatever. So you may deck out, right? So you kind of need Legion to help with that, which is easy because a lot of the time you have a lot of cards in your drop zone, right? So very easy to do. But yeah, so 2 of him, good backup Vanguard, and honestly for late game if you need it, what he does is counter last one, choose one of your rear guards, retire it when this unit attacks a Vanguard. This unit is Legion. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your choose a card from your drop zone and call it to rear guard circle. And its other skill is when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if there's another unit in the center column, this unit gets plus 3k until end of the battle. So its first skill is pretty its Legion skill is pretty strong with the deck too and how it works, because you can pretty much like reset hollow abilities as well. Like you can obviously like use a hollow ability, get them to attack, and then use a skill to kill it, and then just bring it back, and it resets their hollow ability. So that actually combos really nicely with it. Just very good back Vanguard with that sense. And then we have 2 Ghoul Dragon, Gas Dragon. This card's so strong. It has hollow ability. What it does, G-Break 1, put top 2 cards, top of your deck into your drop zone. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, this, yeah, sorry, I like reading different lines at the same time. This unit gets power plus 3k until end of the battle. Then, if this unit's hollowed, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of battle. So that's huge. He's 19k on his own if he's hollowed, 14 if he's not hollowed, but if he's 14, he'll swing for 21 if he's not hollowed, just to drop 2, right? And if he is hollowed, you could swing for 26. So, pretty good. And I meant to say 21, not 22, my bad, for the if he is not hollowed. I think I said 21. I don't know. I thought I said 22, but anyways. And his drop zone effect is counterblast 1. Choose one of your grade 2 or greater rear guards and retire. Call this card to rear guard. So that's pretty handy too, because of the fact that, well, just the fact that it combos with, there's a certain grade 2 it combos with, and it's just very good to get him back. And I mean, you can use this guy, pay him for Stride, and then freaking counterblast and kill a grade 2. Oh, here we go. I just paid for Stride with him, but it's okay because I got him anyways. So it's very scary card. I remember Skull Dragon used to be like this, except this card's the scary version now. Ugh. What's the next version gonna be like? Oh, okay. On to grade 2s. So we have 3 Witch Doctor of the Corrosion Sea, Negrorook. So what he does is hollow ability. He has G-Break 1. When this unit attacks, this unit gets power plus 2k until end of the battle, and if it's hollowed, it gets plus 5k. So it's pretty much the same thing. It'll be 16k on his own, 23k with a boost, so he can make 15k guards. Not with a boost, with hollow and a boost, of course. And he's a nice 11k beater if you don't hollow him, but most of the time, all the time you will. Him, Gas Dragon are your 2 main cards that you go for, because they just get so much power and so much pressure when they're hollowed. So yeah, if you have both of them in separate columns, oh, that's terrifying. That's end game right there. Yeah, just such a good card. Grade 2 lineup's very tight though, so I only have 3 of him. Yeah. So anyways, moving on. We have 3 Witch Doctor of Langur, Negrolazy. What he does is hollow ability, G-Break 1, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have Vanguard with Nightrose in its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 2 or less. Choose one grade 2 or less card, not name this card in your drop zone, call its rear guard until end of turn. This unit gets power plus 2k. So he'll be 11k beater on that turn. And also he gets auto. If this card is sent to the drop zone due to the effect of hollow ability, you get to counter charge and soul charge of 1. So you basically undo his cost, which isn't bad. You hollow him sometimes. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But it's pretty deep. It's pretty good. He helps you. He can combo with the Legion mate really well, because you can kill something, call him out, right? And then just call something else out, so you could have attacked with like the front rows already. And then just recall them, and then, you know, go off in an extra couple attacks, right? So, nice combos with that too. It's just a very good card. And then we have 3 Skeleton Cannoneer. I found I needed 3 of these. So, yeah, if you find it is a little too much, you can play 2 of these. And play 4 of Negrorook. But I really highly recommend 3 Skeleton Cannoneer. What he does is Hollow ability. G-Break 1, Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard from your drop zone, you pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. And if this unit is hollowed, you draw a card. So this card combos with Ghoul Dragon. On top of the fact, you can actually get 2 pluses from him on a turn by using Nightrose's first skill. And 2 retires in a turn. You know, call him back, hollow him, retire, draw a card, then you have to kill him again. So 2 for the price of 1, right? But he also combos nicely with Ghoul Dragon, because you can get him from the drop zone, counterblast, retire something, draw a card, use Ghoul Dragon skill to kill him, and then, so you know, you did those 2 things, and now you have Ghoul Dragon hollowed and ready to pressure, right? So he's basically normally the target I go for with Gas Dragon. Sorry, not Ghoul Dragon, because there's other Ghoul Dragons. Sorry, Gas Dragon. That's what I'm talking about. Just he's normally the target. And I found 3 of him is better than 4 of Negrorook, because you have Gas Dragon as well. Whereas, you know, this card you only have, like, it's the only card like this card. So yeah, just very, very good on just everything. It combos so well with this deck. Like, that's also why I ran 3. Just too much combo. Too much combo potential, man. And then we have 2 Undead Dragon, Ghoul Dragon. So what he does is when this unit is placed on rearguard from your drop zone until on a turn, it gets auto when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. So he's your Legion mate for your Legion guy. So 2 of him. No more, no less, really. Moving on to grade 1s, we have 4 Tornado Djinn, damage on Flipper P-Guard, helps out a bit. Yeah, very, very helpful. Then we have 4 Tommy, Brothers the Ghostie, Nightrose Searcher, and Stride Enabler. And then we have 4 Witch Doctor of the Bone Powder, Negrobone. What he does is G-Break 1, Counterblast 1. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted rearguard, you may have... if you have a Vanguard with Nightrose in its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, retire the boosted unit, choose a card from drop zone with the hollow ability, and call it to rearguard. Okay, this is another guy that can combo with Skeleton Cannoneer. Okay, think about this. Skeleton Cannoneer's a skill can be used 3 times in a turn. If you can unflip that much, obviously, but it can be used 3 times in a turn. If you have him in front of this guy, you can swing Skeleton Cannoneer. Dies. Of course, he already used this skill when you first called him, so that's already 1 retire, 1 draw. Skeleton Cannoneer dies, and then you just bring him back. Boom, his skill goes off again, right? Swing. At the end of the turn, he dies. So now you have 2 pluses and 2 opponent's rearguards retired. And then you use Nightrose to bring him back, call him, hollow him. You retire something else. Draw a card, and then he dies again. So that's 3 pluses and 3 retires. Of course, if your opponent's field is loaded, you could do that. It's an option. Normally you don't, but still, it's there as an option if you really, really need it, and you have the counterblast to do it. It's very, very scary. And you eat up counterblast like that. Like, that combo is 4 counterblasts right there. You might even have to use Grenache for a 5th time. Like, it's ridiculous how many counterblasts you use, but there are various combos you can do with this card. Most of the time, I try to combo this card with like Gas Dragon or Negrorook, because of the fact that, you know, you can swing with big power and then bring them back and swing with big power again. So that's normally the route I take, but yes, you have that option with Cannoneer. So just remember that. And yeah, those are like the main ones I use it on, though, and then Cannoneer's in the back pocket, like, if I really need to, I have this. Just amazingly strong card, honestly. And he can reset himself too with the triggers we run, and then you can continue it again with the multiple attacks, and oh, it's disgusting. Please no. And then, because he's not once per turn. And then we have 2 Sea Strolling Banshee, so just helpful for getting a couple pluses that you need, without counterblasting, of course, because Cannoneer is a counterblast, and I mean, honestly, you don't play draws in this deck either, because you don't want to deck out, so she's just very helpful with that. You just need 2 of her, though. That's all. And then onto our triggers, we have 4 Mick the Ghostie family. What he does is Hollow ability, G-Break 1 when this unit is placed on rear guard from drop zone. If this unit is hollowed, choose one of your other units. That unit gets power plus 10k until end of turn, and this unit gets auto when this unit is put into your drop zone. Return this unit to your deck and shuffle your deck. So he helps you not deck out as well. You reset a sand trigger. There's a Stride unit that you can combo with this card, and it's so disgusting when he's in your drop zone to just combo with it. Normally you grab this card when it's in your drop zone. You don't put it in the drop zone, obviously, but I mean, you're mail cards, so it's probably gonna end up there. But yeah, it's just really, really strong with that 10k and everything. I'll get more into it when we get to the Stride unit, but we're playing stands as well because of the fact that you get such power-ups and the hollow ability. The hollow ability, because of how it works, because at the end of the turn, you know, they die, you want to get as much off as you can with them. I mean, I see some people playing crit, and I don't quite understand why, because of the fact you want to get as much as you can off with the hollow ability with Gas Dragon and Negrorook, like, with their super powerful. On top of the fact that if you restand Negrobone, the one who boosts to counterblast, and then, you know, you kill the rear guard that you boosted, and call something else from the drop zone with the hollow ability, he resets if you stand him, obviously, like, and then boost again, you can use his skill again. So it gets really, really dirty. I found stand triggers are just 10 times better with this deck's lineup, and just how the deck works with the hollow ability and the crazy power-ups with the hollow ability and some of the other stuff it does. Which is why, you know, I have Negrorook and Gas Dragon, like, as the main focuses too, because it's so disgusting. Just so well, and then yeah, it just it's gross. So yeah, 4 Mick the Ghostie family, and then we have 4 Graham the Ghostie, you know, put into soul plus 3k, and then we have 4 performing zombie. So what he does is when this unit placed on rear guard circle, look top 10 cards from the top of your deck, search for one unit from among them, put it in drop zone, shuffle your deck. So I don't really use him. Like, I normally call one of the other 2 stand triggers if I have to. He's the one, like, I kind of avoid, but, you know, he's there to help if you really, really need it. So 12 stand. Yeah, I never found crits were useful at all in this deck. I found the stands were just so much better, especially with, like, the Legion Mate too. It combos with him too, because you can have your both columns attack, and then your Legion Mate attack reset both front rows, and then if you get 2 stands, you basically have, like, 2 full columns to attack again. And then we have 4 Rick the Ghostie for heal. We're playing Ghosties because of a certain card. Onto our Stride units, we have 4 Miss Phantom of the Pirate King, Nightrose. So what she does is she's main Stride unit. G-Break 2, counterblast 2, choose a face down card, name this card from your G zone, turn it face up. When this unit attacks Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 2 cards from your drop zone, call them to 7 rear guards in different rows. So what's funny about this is you can kind of combo with Cannoneer. So you can use Cannoneer with, you know, Nightrose's skill of riding. You pure call Cannoneer, and then you use this card skill after Cannoneers, and then call another Cannoneer, use Cannoneer's skill, and then Negrorook as well. You call both of them. I mean, if you don't have back rows, which you normally will have back rows, you don't need to, but you could do that. You can also just use Nightrose to call, you know, Grenache, and then use her to call front rows or something. And then you can call another Cannoneer, as I said, get another retire, another draw, have Negrorook in the other column, and then kill the Cannoneer. So you got 2 retires, 2 draws, and then call Gas Dragon and go ham. It's disgusting what you can do with this deck, but this card, just your main Stride unit, very, very strong. And then we have 3 Ghosty Great King, Obadiah? Obadiah? I don't know how to say that. Anyways, what he does is when this unit plays on Vanguard, you search your deck for 3 cards, put them in your drop zone, shuffle your deck, and if 2 or more cards with the Hollow ability were put into the drop zone with this effect, choose up to 1 normal unit with Ghosty in its card name from the drop zone and call it to rearguard in the same column as the unit. This unit's actually pretty good, like very good. I play 3 of him because, you know, if you need an extra one, like normally you use 1 or 2 of him, but if you need an extra one, you have it. Especially because he's honestly just really, really good. He's actually even good for ending games, which is funny. But really, Mick the Ghostie family, the one that gives 10k to anyone, and then at the end, if he's hollowed, and then at the end of the turn he retires and then goes back to the deck, right? So he resets, on top of the fact of giving power. You can use him to put 3 cards into the drop zone. Just throw hollow cards in the drop zone, I guess. Cards that hollow. And like a Sea Strolling Banshee, right? So he helps set up your drop zone like specifically in a way too. So he helps with that. He's normally your first stride. Most of the time you want to aim for him for stride. And then if you have that stand trigger in the drop zone, use a pure call it. If you don't, you normally call the stride enabler. That's what you call instead. And then of course you have a heal and another ghosty trigger, a stand trigger, but those 2 cards are like last resort cards that I normally call. The other stand trigger is like the 4th one I'd call, and then the heal would be the 3rd. Tommy the Ghostie Brothers is 2nd, and then, you know, the first call is if that stand trigger that gives the 10k is in there, that's what I'm going for. But yeah, so basically you could combo with that, set it back to the deck to help you not deck out, and also give something an extra 10k, and it goes behind this card, so it's not even like it's that bad. It because it'd be swinging for like, I don't know, 30k, right? I guess an extra 1k would help, but still you have another 10k in a different column who may already be powered up, or maybe the other column's powered up because the other column has Gas Dragon, and then this column has like Skeleton Cannoneer. Oh well, Skeleton Cannoneer is now powered up, right? So it's so dirty what you could do with the stand triggers too, with all these power-ups that you can get. And yeah, he's handy for helping set up your drop zone a little bit with specifics, but he's just very, very good with like getting a little pure call and just really shitting on your opponent with that type of combo. I mean, if you know, your Nightrose Stride unit didn't end the game, you just kind of stride into this again, and by that time you will have that stand trigger, so you kind of call behind your Vanguard and be like, okay, now it's time to do this, and it's time to put some cards back in the deck too. Don't want to deck out. And then we have 1 Pirate King, this Secret Schemes Bandit Rum. This card does is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose up to 1 card from your drop zone, call it to rear, it gets plus 2k until end of turn. So your standard card. Most of the time you might use this card first if you have no ghosties in the drop zone. And if you really don't want to use it, and you know, this card's probably better to use because you already have most of the cards that you need set up, so you just need to wait out for the stand trigger, right? So this is an option. Of course, I only play 1 because that's really all you need, because at a certain point you just have the other 2 cards to help push for ending it, right? The other 2 strides. This card's just here just in case, like, it's a better option for your starter stride unit. So yeah, anyways, sorry that was a little long. There was a hell of a lot of explaining in Granblue because it's like, this deck's so complicated, like damn, took me forever to do it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys know the deck profile. Let me know what you think, and so see you guys next time.